Ooh. Hey, everybody. All 5 of you. I think I'm live right now, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not a pro at this. Can you see me? Can you hear me? And stream. Thank you. All right. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I don't often go live, but I'm feeling a little antsy, like I wanted to hang out. I would like to start going live every night, so we'll probably set that up within the next couple weeks or so. And yeah, and that's it. 18 people here. I thought that we would talk about Leonardo DiCaprio. And let's see, I'm going to try to pull something up. Just want to make sure everything works right now. You should see my Twitter dealy here. Okay. All right, so this is kind of what got me thinking about it. I follow this guy named Speed Read Dan. He's pretty fun. He is, what is this word? This word, physiognomy. It's where you read someone's face and then all is revealed. I knew a woman from Hong Kong and she would read palms and she'd also read faces. She always told me I had doctor's ears, which can't be right because I'm not at all a doctor, but she would read people's faces. And I don't know if it stems back from Asia, but this guy does that. He's actually a pretty fascinating follow because he'll take 2 women in their profile pictures, like big Instagram people, and he'll ask his audience to break them down. What do they think about like the big 5 for personality and promiscuity and then he'll give a breakdown. Now, I don't know if it's right, honestly, because I don't think he calls these women up and say, hey, have you had sex with 100 people and have really low self-esteem and you've always been considered promiscuous and you have problems with your dad? Or no? So I don't know. But he says, Speed Read Dan says, one's a literal Chad with 9 kids and the other's soy boy with 0. The physiognomy never lies. It never lies. All right. Shoot. I'm trying to figure out how to be able to read your chats. So, sorry about that. I'm going to have my phone. I thought there was a way to do it here, but I'm just really bad. I'm really bad at this. So, anyway, can you see? I like Leonardo DiCaprio. Me too. I think he's fine, although you might like him a little more than I do. I think he's a little off on the deep end of caring about the environment, but I digress from that. So what's this guy's name? Is this Mel Gibson? Can you see this guy? Aw. Slice of pie. Yes, I will get back to you. So I have this. I'm going to not pay attention to any one of you right now for a second. I have this. And everything else is... Sorry, that's the dog.
Yeah, normally there's a thing there, but you can bring it up on your YouTube on Google.
Yeah, I got it. All right. Oh, Jesus. All right, so, yes, can someone help me? Is that Mel Gibson? I'm going to assume it is Mel Gibson. Oh, wait a minute. But Mel Gibson is married to a pretty... Let me look. Mel Gibson. Yeah. Okay, let's look at Mel Gibson's wife. Because Mel Gibson is supposed to be the Chad, right? Oh, but he's not even married. Who is the famous guy that's married forever and ever, amen, to a pretty overweight women, and Hollywood kind of gives him shit. I totally thought it was this person. Doesn't matter. So what do you guys think? If you had to guess who the bigger stud is and you didn't know these guys, would it be this old man in the sunglasses or Leonardo DiCaprio? Now, as you can see, Leonardo DiCaprio looks like shit in that because he is preparing for a movie. But really, in real life, Leonardo DiCaprio looks like Leonardo. Past girlfriends, no, just let's look at him. Good looking guy. He's, how old is he? 40 something. And the big joke with him is that he only gets into relationships with women who are 23, 24, 25. In fact, I have something for you. It's called Leonardo DiCaprio's dating history. So he's dated 25 women, 15 models, 10 blondes. I think that's it. So a lot of beautiful women. And I'm kind of curious about your thoughts on this guy, because it seems to be, here's what I'm hearing. Men cheer it because how awesome is that? Like, to live your whole life dating beautiful women for 2 years at a time until the day you die. Like, that is the way to do it. That's the one way of thinking. And then the other way of thinking is women think it's not awesome, and that's because the women are upset, bitter, desperate, mad, hit the wall. So it's either a very glorified position, like exalting him and his awesome choices, and actually that's it. That's the only choice, isn't it? Or the women are just dumb hags. So that would be the thought. And I'm curious about what all of you, Gerardo, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I do not, Jesus sausage, I need to eat a cheeseburger or two. This last week, I went on the carnivore diet for 1 week, and I wanted to die. I hated it. I did the carnivore diet a couple years ago. I made it to 5 days, and then I freaked out on a friend and was mean. And I had to run to the store and buy strawberries and pecans, and then I felt better. And my husband is still on the carnivore diet. Have any of you tried the carnivore diet? I have a opinion about this. Tell me what you think. I think that men are better at carnivore diets than women because men have been because men have been the hunters. And all through history, they would go out into the world and kill the animal and then eat it for however long it would take to get back to the women, where the women were eating nuts and berries and fruits and vegetables and honey. So I think it's more natural for men to eat all protein and women to graze on fruits and vegetables. But I hated the diet. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Which made me realize how much dopamine I get from the idea of eating food. Like, ooh, what do I get to have for dinner or breakfast or a snack? Whereas the carnivore diet is like, oh, okay, good. Do I want lamb or beef or fish? Zosha. So anyway, one of you said that you don't cheer Leonardo DiCaprio. So I was at the 22 convention this last year. Yes. I've been the past two, but I'm trying to think of when this conversation happened. And a gentleman came up to me and he knew my YouTube channel and he introduced himself. And I can't remember how it came up, but he was in his 40s. And he was talking about the idea in the red pill community that it is a strong desire for all men to go for younger women if they can get them. And he said, the guy was like, I don't subscribe to that. I don't like that. So he got a divorce in his late 30s, and when he was ready to date, he started marrying a woman that was really close to his age. She was younger, but by, I don't know, I can't remember, but it was not anything substantial. So I'm curious about the real people out there, especially the people that are out of their 20s. Because I'll tell you what, first of all, women in their 20s are almost always more beautiful than women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, just because they have youth on their side. But, shoot, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, so they're always going to be attractive to men. But now personally, when I've talked to gentlemen, 99% of the time, men that are single don't want a woman who is more than 10 years younger. And everyone that I know has went out with women who are over 10 years, but they all said they felt weird and there wasn't a lot in common and it just felt off. So I don't know if that's just the conversations that I've had. It is completely anecdotal, but let's look at the evidence here. Percent of men who marry young. Can you guys see this? Let's just do this. There. So 15% of men marry someone 6 or more years younger than them for the first marriage. And only 3% of women. But for second marriages, men are much more likely to go younger. 38% of men choose a significantly younger woman compared to 11% of women. So, actually, yeah, so if it's true that men are always more desirable as they get older and women always are not, just stay with me here. If that's true, and men are the ones that get to choose, wouldn't it be more than the 38%? Or do you think I'm totally off on that? Don't you think if you could, I mean, 40% is still a good chunk, but I would think it'd be 60%, 80%. I mean, why not 90% if men are choosing? So what's up with that? What's up with that disparity? Oh no, did I lose? Oh crap. Oh, okay. I'm going to head into the chat here and say hello to everybody. What do you guys think? Gavin McGinnis played a prank on everyone. Apparently he was live and then there was like a ruckus. How often do you use that word? A ruckus. There was a ruckus and he got up and you heard him say, he said, "You can talk to my lawyers. I'm in the middle of a stream right now." And then he said, "I didn't let you guys in." And then he was gone, and he was gone for days and days. And it was a joke. And I think that's super bag of shit. I don't mind Gavin McInnes at all, but now I think he's a bag of shit, which has nothing to do with the age gap of everyone. Harvey Weinstein, how the heck are you? Leo is such a douche nozzle. Lower your carbon footprint while I take jet flights. Yeah, and flick my cigarette butts everywhere. Oh, does he smoke? Yeah, that's the way it is. So I guess maybe we should break up the chat. Okay, here's what I want to do. I want to know if you were to divorce right now or if you're single. Oh, actually, let me go back to this. When you're in your 20s, you are attracted to people in their 20s. But as you get older, your attraction starts to, like, here, I'll say it like this. In my 20s, I remember distinctly thinking that men with chest hair were gross. Like, oh, I can't imagine ever being attracted to that. And smooth skin on a man was attractive to me. But somewhere out of my 20s, certainly it was in my 30s, that I thought smooth chest is gross and chest hair is the only way to go. No, I understand I'm a woman. So it's tilted because I'm a woman talking about men, not a man talking about women. But I was surprised that my attraction, what I was attracted to, stayed with my age group, pretty much. So my point is, I wonder how much that goes for men in their 20s. Like, yeah, when you're in your 20s, of course you want a woman that's your age. Like, there's very few men that want to date women who are older or marry women who are older. But then when you start to get older, so here's my question. I guess if you're in your 20s right now, I don't care that much. But if you're out of your 20s and you're older, gentlemen, if you were divorced right now, and you're fine about it, like she's not dead, it wasn't bad, you're not sad, and you can find love again, and the state is all put together, and and you're safe. Your money is safe. This is just a hypothetical, people. Would you want to marry a woman in her 20s? Yes or no? Also, how old are you? So I guess I want to know, it would go like this. I would say, if I'm a man, I'd say, no, I wouldn't want to date. And then I'd put my age. Got it? You see it? So at 50, I want a 19 to 20-year-old. Okay. Yes. Okay. About whatever. How old are you right now? How old are you right now? No. Yeah. See? Okay. We have one no. Do you want children in this? That's a good question. No, because no, you don't want children in this scenario. No, 42. I only date women younger than me. Okay, so kiss vagina. Beautiful. You only date women who are younger than you. How old are you? And I guess I'm curious too, have you ever dated a woman and then found out that she was actually older, but you suspected that she was younger? Like, she looked good for her age. Would have been another way to put that. Yeah. Albert says, I'm 58. Girls in their 20s are babies. Yeah, it's a really weird thing to me. Yes, I'm 55. I don't want children. So David Foster would want a woman in her 20s. And this is totally fine. This is 25. This is totally fine. Not 25. Yeah. You're 40? Okay. And then, so kiss vag. Again, have you ever dated a woman, like went out on a date or whatnot, and then she tells you that she's 3 years older than you, and you're like, shit, I totally thought you were 3 years younger. Has that ever happened? No one's fooled me by looking younger. Okay, that's awesome. Or is it, no, that's not awesome. Why? That's a stupid thing to say. No, it's not awesome. That means that everyone looks their age. And that's a bummer. That's sad. It's a sad world. I was looking at fat statistics. Oh no, I posted it on one of the comments. So there's more obese women in the country. No. There's more severely obese women in the country by like 5%. But there's more just regular fat, obese men than there are women. So it kind of evens out in that way. I'm 35 and dating a 38-year-old. Right? See, that happens. Most do look their age. It's true. I did a Facebook post on my personal page years ago, and I said, I have bad news. You look your age. Because everyone thinks that they'll post their pictures like thinking that they look not their age. But they're just used to their dumb face, you know? And they thought that they look like a golden girl at 40, you know? But the thing is our culture doesn't let anyone look like a golden girl. They have them look like Demi Moore, you know? So no, you're not going to look like 137 years old, but you still can look like shit. It happens. It just happens, you know? All right, I'm 75. Oh, Ted! And you found a 73-year-old woman, or did she find me? Near my age seems important to me. Older or younger didn't seem important. Yes, that is good. Which brings me to age gap marriage divorces. So I'm curious. Oh, here we go. Let me get my shit together, which is my brain. I'm talking about my brain. Let's talk about the success rate, because a lot of people are very gung-ho. A lot of people are very gung-ho and excited for Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, oh, the dude is doing it right. But I think he's doing it right if all you want to do is date women who are pretty and for 2 years at a time. Sylvester Stallone is 74 years old, and him and his wife, Jennifer Flavin, I can't believe I know this gossip, are getting a divorce. And I'm so sad for him because he's 74 years old. Like, okay, so someone will date him, probably, but he's gonna... So I went both ways on it. He's going to not die, with the woman that he has been married to for 25 years that knows him. And that seems sad to me. On the other hand, new love is always fun. So maybe he'll die in that sweet spot of like having a new, beautiful woman. So that's that. Okay, so let's look at this together. And if you don't just want to have sex with pretty women for 2 years at a time and then move on, and you want like a meaningful relationship, here's what we have. So starting with the reference point, here is the graph. All right. So if there's no difference in age, this is where we're starting. This is the divorce. You're fine. Everything is great. If there's a 1 year difference, you're 3% more likely to get a divorce. Do you see where this graph is going? If there's a 5 year difference, 18% more likely than the national average to get a divorce. 10 years, when you're starting to date those hot mamas or hot dudes, 39%. This is really, really fartacular. And then 20-year difference is 95% more likely to get a divorce. So that is interesting to me. That's huge. So if you are only looking for sex, then what he is doing is wonderful. But if you're looking for something more meaningful, so do you want to look with me at his ex-girlfriends? It's Friday night. Let's do it. All right. So his first girl, this is 100,000 years ago, 1998. All right. There's only one woman that I'm interested in that I have. She's so pretty. I can't believe how pretty she is. Let's find her. Giselle. Okay, so here's Naomi Campbell. I'm 44 years old, so I was in my teens when the supermodels were happening. When George Michael put out his song Freedom and he had all the supermodels in the video. And Naomi Campbell. I heard she's a real bitch, but she's very, very pretty. All right, so they had a fling, it says. This girl, I don't know, but look how young he is. Here's another. Let's look at her. Helena Christensen. She was, do you know who that is? Helena Christensen, Wicked Game. So she was do you remember this music video? From Chris Isaac, who's gay. So he would not have, if this was a real depiction of his romantic life, it would not be with this woman. But she's really pretty, right? She's really pretty. So let's go today, 2022. Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought that she was totally disgusting. But I must be thinking of someone else. She's not so bad. How old is she? Let's see how old she is. So, like, the reason I'm looking up these women is because if he had stayed with these women, what would they... Oh, she's pretty. That's a good picture of her. So, yeah. So, she's not that bad, is she? Sorry, everybody. Okay. Sorry, not sorry. Not doing it yet. Okay, so these are the women. Who is that? That looks like the woman from the ugly secretary from Mad Men. This woman. This woman, look at her. Look at her. So they dated for like 5 years. I think she broke up with him. Okay. Now she is married to Tom Brady and she had a bunch of children and she's still married. So which one's more important, gentlemen? Would you rather be Tom Brady with 2 or 3 children with this woman? Ooh, she's so pretty. Or not? It's totally up to you. Yeah, Snake says, I'm pretty sure it's not love. I'm pretty sure it's not love either. Which brings me to something else. Remember how I said there's 2 ways of looking at this that that men idolize this man and then women are just bitter. I think that women wouldn't. This is a red flag for women. If a man is always dating younger women, it's a red flag for commitment because of exactly what we were talking about. Like, obviously, it's not for love. They are more of the flesh, and they're not going to be loyal. And when you get older, you just kind of figure that stuff out. And there's a lot of people who are very upset that women figure things out as you get older. But youth is wasted on the young, and it's wasted on the young for men too. So women kind of figure that out as they get older, and that is a red flag. And it's a red flag because like that's not normal, because he's not even having children. No, it's not like he's having all these healthy, beautiful babies around the world, and his legend will live on. So it makes me wonder how bummed he is in real life. Famous people are really weird to me. That's it. That might be it. I just had some things to say about Leonardo DiCaprio, which is funny because I had like this. I have like fantasies in my head, and there's the force fantasy where you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a picnic and I'm gonna bring chicken salad sandwich and it's gonna be so great and there's gonna be sunset. Like, you create that, and then there's the ones that just like come to you. So I imagine that someone asked me like in a live interview what I thought about Leonardo DiCaprio, and I said it doesn't matter. I thought I wouldn't want to talk about Leonardo DiCaprio, and then I never go live to talk about this dork. Snake says, how normal can anyone in Hollywood be? You know that you would get weird. I mean, you would just get weird. I know I've like done this thought experiment, and it's funny because I don't trust any of the politicians, right? I do think that communism is taking over. I think the end is near. I think the sky is falling. And people, it's funny because there's a whole lot of people out there that say, what do they have to gain? What would anyone have to gain? And I always try to point out, you don't understand because you're a stupid idiot pleb. Like, you don't even have wealth yet. All you're doing is trying to pay the bills and pay for vacation and get a nice house and get the gutters, the whatever, cleaned, and you're trying to pay for your kids' education. But there comes a point as a celebrity that is done. And you start to make money and you don't have to worry about that anymore. And then you start to go out into the world and you can command people's lives. It's like a video game. And I would know that most of these people start to play with their power. Like, what can I make these people do? And they start gentle with questions or a coy look or a flirtation and then they get more direct and they make a request and they start to make a demand, and no one ever says no. So at some point when you have all the money, now you're just experimenting with, well, fuck, power. Like, what? I have accumulated all the money I could ever want. It's getting boring at this point. Ooh, another 50 million. Doesn't matter. How much power can I have? And then you would start to experiment with that. And then you go, well, geez, like, could I kill people? Could I change the world and make it better by killing half the population? I mean, seriously though, I mean, usually if we're gonna make the planet better, a lot of people think that we need to get rid of a lot of people. So, but at some point, I think that would happen. Do you seek money and power? I like money. It's really fun. It's really fun, but it gets boring, right? Like when you are working really hard and you go out to dinner, like a nice dinner, and you have prepared, you've made reservations for a couple weeks, you know what you're going to wear, you're excited, you have a babysitter, women get to get a new dress, the men put on their shirt, and it's fun. It is a peak, it is a high thing, something fun to look forward to. Or for the gentleman, you have the box, the sports box. You know, the really expensive box, like your buddy's friend's brother works for a company and he has the box for a night and you get to do that. And it's really, really special. But if you get to do that all the time, it's just no fun anymore. That's why I think people kill themselves when they get famous or when they win the lottery, because there's nothing more to look for. And now you're confused, like, oh God, okay, so I have all the money and I still, now what? What is the point of life? I'm not saying that there's not a point, but when you are taught to hustle and hustle to earn money and then it's gone. Steasley, how in the heck are ya? How in the heck are you? It's good to see you. Happy Friday. I question the women with him knowing that he's not going to commit more than I question Leo. Okay, so this is easy. So a woman, many women, no, I'm just going to say this. Let's backtrack. Social proof is really powerful. So if you're going to be in any business, especially online businesses, they talk a lot about social proof. That's why if you ever write a book, you release it to 50 people that love you for free. And you say, hey, just do me a solid and write a review. And then people feel compelled to be a little bit nice, give you one more star than they normally would. And now when the book is released, everyone's like, oh, well, shit, there's already 50 people that have 4 and 5-star reviews. I will risk my $12.99 and I will buy this book because society has vetted the book. It is the same thing with men. There's no better advertising than a slew of beautiful women. Because now the social proof is... So I was thinking about this. I want someone to take this, what I'm going to say, and do a video on it, and I want someone in the world to actually do it. Find a dude, a dork, you, a Joe Schmo, nothing amazing, and plan an organized lie. Make a rumor that you, Joe, okay, it's your friend Joe. Joe's all right? He's 5'9", there's nothing great about him. He has a kind of a receding hairline. Nice guy, but never gets the babes. But create a rumor that Joe only dates beautiful women. You don't know how Joe does it, but his women are stunning. And he has a long-term relationship in Vegas, and he has another girlfriend, and they all know about each other, but there's always women on his arm. Like if I was a dude and I could not get play, I think I would hire some women to hang out with me every Friday for 1 hour at the same best bar where the beautiful women are. Just so women would see me with these women. And then I can start to get other women. It's just social proof. And it's easy. Just to be able to, I mean, think about this, Steasley. There are women who will have sex with a guy and be treated really horribly by him just so she can say, I had sex with the lead drummer of Metallica. Is there a lead drummer? I don't know. But you understand my point. So that's what I want to say about that. All right. Kiss Vag, I don't know what's going on, but settle down. Settle down. All right. Chris Hinkin says, I've made 3 fortunes and I look at Hollywood celebrities that are now nothing. I just did my thing, consider blue collar and 1 white collar, and I smile. Oh, you're in Telluride. Awesome. Snake says, I think that's a big difference between men and women. Kiss Vag. I have 0 morals. I am a bad person. Okay. Just whatever you think about me, it's true. Why? I mean, why not? Right? I dance with the lead singer of Squeezebox. See, it's it's a fun thing. Kelly's McGarage. Have a good night. Yeah. So I get it is kind of weak sometimes, isn't it? I think I've said everything I wanted to. I wanted to get your opinion about Leonardo DiCaprio. I wanted you to know that any man can get a slew of beautiful women if the slew of beautiful women know that he gets the beautiful women. Gerardo, yeah, and there are some men who just always get pretty women. It's true. It's like a habit. It's your boundaries. And for me, very good-looking people make me really nervous, really uncomfortable. That's why I made videos saying if you are very good-looking, you have a bigger responsibility to, whether you like it or not, you have a bigger responsibility to the greater public because you have power, because you can sway people. And they don't even want to be swayed, but people just get like weird. So there's a power in that. And when you get Bulldog Mindset was talking about how he's dated so many beautiful women that it just doesn't matter anymore. He sees the beauty, but he's not intimidated in any way. And I think that's what happens. You just get to a point where you're like, yeah, just another beautiful woman. Just another beautiful woman. No big deal. So that's that. I'm very good looking. Women rate me at an 8.5. El Diablo. Do you have to ask women to rate you? Because that is or do women in conversation just tell you their number? Because the whole rating thing is so masculine. I've never been with girlfriends where we have ever rated a guy on a 0 through 10. Ever. Isn't that interesting? Yep. Oh, Bulldog's latest video showed he's sold out. David, what happened? Oh, hey. And speak of the community. Okay. Beautiful women doesn't mean quality women. Isn't that true? I hope that a lot of you have learned that lesson. And then the other thing I have noticed with very good-looking people, I'm going to say stuff that everybody knows. They don't have to develop their other skills as well. Actually, I need to think about this. So you don't have to be that funny or that smart because you get what you want anyway. But studies have shown that beautiful people tend to be more intelligent and charming and funny. I wonder, that's got to be because they have more opportunities. so they get more special attention from the teacher because they're good looking. Something like that. That's zippy. Huh. All right. Well, everyone, I think that's it. Is somebody being... Is there fights going on in the... Oh, dear. El Diablo. You know what, El Diablo? You're the kind of guy that I'd like to have on the show because I want to see who you are. Like, you obviously don't fit into... So you're an outsider in the chat, right? So you're pressing your boundaries of power to see what people do. But I wonder if in real life, if you're really like that, or if your power is more behind the screen. So it would be really fun to have you. I'm gonna set it up where I'm gonna have links and people can come on. So you could say all the things you want to say. Like, oh, I make women wet and I'm so fucking awesome. I would just love to see your face on the screen. And like your house. Like these women that just are falling in love with you. Do they also think that your house is pretty awesome? Like, are you put together in all ways, or are you just making women melt because of your beautiful face? Idiot. So that's that. Slice of pie. I've gotten used to dating beautiful women, but unfortunately it's been a double-edged sword. They're less multifaceted and bring less to the table. So I was thinking about that I think that might be more of a problem for women. They just have to be less smart. Women have to be less funny anyway. So, yeah. Oh, art of free speech. Well, everyone, I think I am... I think I'm done. I'll see you soon. I will put out another video here in the next week or so. I'm going to be speaking at the 22 convention for the 3rd year. You can get your tickets. I'll put a link below. And I'll go live again in the next week or two. We'll talk about some stories or something. I'll plan something for you. If you have any ideas, you can email me at contact@jennifermoleski.com. Okay? All right, everybody. I'm going to press the end stream.